Guys, the voice of college football at our network, Joel Klatt. Don't be the guy in the room with the long, sloppy-looking untucked shirt. Untuckit.com. GQ calls it perfection. Code HERD, 20% off. I'm pretty fast at reading that stuff. It's called a professional. How are you, Joel Klatt? Good to see you.
Good. What's going on today?
Well, your guys give me notes, and so, the notes this week are all you making crazy statements. So let me start.
Oh, you're off the rails with some of your takes.
Okay, first
today.
of all.
Go.
And this is just my theory, and I made this theory last week, is that I watch the draft, and I watch mock drafts, and I watch recruiting, and I watch the games. No other conference can give me, I don't think, LSU, Bama. It just looks different. So the guys come out and they go, LSU 1, I got Georgia 4, I got Bama 5. They're telling me, the committee, and I don't have a problem with this committee saying, we kind of like to set it up so we can get 2 SEC teams in here.
Maybe. I think that they clearly value that conference. They've got the top undefeated team, the top one-loss team. In fact, the 2 top one-loss teams. They got the top 2 loss teams. So they clearly value the SEC.
Do you have a problem with that?
High. Not in the sense that I think that the top 5 teams in the SEC are really good.
Yeah.
They're all top 15 programs in the country.
Auburn could be 5. They beat Oregon.
Yeah, I mean, listen, they're really good at the top end. I think the hard part, and this is not a knock against the committee because I think it's a really tough job. In particular, this instance, Colin, there was not a great way to slot 4 through 10, 4 through 9, right? There really wasn't a lot of easy answers. The frustration comes in for people that aren't in the South or in SEC country or aren't, SEC people. The problem is that you can see them use one rationale in one spot, and then it's not afforded other teams not in that conference.
What do you mean? But be specific on that.
Okay, specifically, they clearly value the fact that Georgia has really quality wins, right?
Yeah, it should matter.
Okay, it should matter. They also lost to South Carolina, and by the committee's own admission, the second best win of any team in the top 10 is Minnesota over Penn State. So why isn't that honored? So that's where
Penn State maybe they don't think as highly of them.
But they do because they rated them 9th.
It's not a great number.
Oh, it's better than Auburn's number. Right? So you're telling me that Georgia carried the day with great wins. And I'm not disputing that fact. They do have really quality wins. But to suggest that Minnesota's win over Penn State is not more quality or at a higher capacity is flat wrong factually based on the rankings that the committee themselves gave us.
All right, so
that's the only point.
Okay, so we got Tua here is going to go number 1 in the draft. And
no. Calm down.
You've fallen into this camp. Joe Burrow throws a couple nice screen passes. Now you got him as Tom Brady. You got him a couple throws downfield with those athletes, and suddenly this guy's going to change the league.
Listen, you want everything to be definitive, right? You want everything to be. This is not definitive.
Most stuff is.
No, it's not actually. This is going to be incredibly fluid. In fact, the top 3, maybe 4 or 5 quarterbacks, I think teams all over the NFL are going to have them slotted very differently. Joe Burrow might end up being the number 1 pick in the draft. Tua might end up being the number 1 pick in the draft. Herbert might end up being the number 1 pick in the draft. There is not going to be a consensus around these quarterbacks. They all have strengths. They all have some weaknesses. I think that the most well-rounded of those 3 in particular is actually Joe Burrow and what he's proven out.
How come Ohio State said get out of here? Urban Meyer's pretty smart. Yeah, get out of here.
Dwayne Haskins was pretty special. He broke Drew Brees' single-season records in almost every single category. So they had 2 guys that were clearly special quarterbacks. One of them was younger, Dwayne Haskins, and they actually thought he was going to be around for longer. They thought they were going to get more years out of Dwayne Haskins.
Fair.
So they went with him. Joe Burrow then was afforded the opportunity to transfer out.
You've seen.
What do you not like about Burrow? But
it's not what I don't like about Burrow. You could have a room full of models. When the supermodel walks in, you're like, oh, she's a supermodel. Tua is Russell Wilson, left-handed. He doesn't even look the same as
and I love Tua.
He came off a surgery table an hour later.
Part of the issue with Tua is that when you look at his splits and watch his games when he faces his toughest competition, the level of his play goes down.
Well, yeah, it should. They're better teams.
Well, then why does Joe Burrow's go up?
Well, I mean,
why did Baker Mayfield's go up? Why did Kyler Murray's go up? There are other quarterbacks that play better statistically against their better competition. And one of the other things that Tua is going to have to at least show is that he can be healthy. Remember, in a lot of these games that he plays against tough competition, he hasn't been healthy.
No, that's fair. That Joy and I have both said this.
So he's wonderful. Colin, I'm with you. He might be the number 1 pick. There's no doubt. To say it's concrete or definitive at this point is short-sighted at best.
All right. Another shot at me, cheap shot. All right, I try to make this thing work. I try to be a professional over here. Guys throwing arrows at me every 15
Well,
comments.
you're trying to be definitive in November. It just doesn't work.
So here, I want you to.
By the way, Chase Young might get selected number 1 overall.
Oh God! Don't even go there.
Well, he's the best prospect. There's no doubt in the draft.
Seriously, don't even go there.
Is he not? Is he not?
If the Cincinnati Bengals,
they may not. I'm just telling you.
I will demand this network take the Bengals logo off all of our cards.
You will. You're going to demand that.
I'll go upstairs to Shanks. I've said they don't exist.
Interesting.
As a franchise.
Interesting. So if they take the best overall player, that's what you'll say.
He's not. Khalil Mack's not worth a point in an NFL game.
Okay, that's fine.
Aaron Rodgers is worth 11. You got to take the quarterback.
That's why I don't disagree with you. I'm just saying that none of those quarterbacks are the level of prospect that Chase Young is. I believe that there's only one guy a draft where you can be like, that's a Hall of Fame talent. And Chase Young is that guy. You can see him with a gold jacket. There's no doubt. And by the way, the second most, I would say, advantageous aspect of any team is the ability to rush the passer. You got to get a lead. Like Bill Walsh said, you get a lead, and then what do? You got to rush the passer.
I totally disagree with that premise. The first thing is you get the house, the quarterback. The second thing is you get insurance for it, offensive line. There's not a bad team in this league with a good O-line. Pittsburgh, great O-line. Dallas, great O-line. Rams have all sorts of, wide receivers and Aaron Donald. So can't get a first down.
You're telling me that definitively See, I know Chase Young's going to work out in the NFL. I know it. These quarterbacks, I'm not sure.
Yeah, but you just said get a lead.
I get it. No, listen, you guys.
Quarterback.
You guys are going to gang up. You do it all the time. That's fine. I'm just telling you the best prospect in the draft, the only one with NFL talent. Or excuse me, the only one with Hall of Fame projection talent is Chase Young. They're going to select the quarterback. Someone's going to select the quarterback number 1, as they probably should, because you can't win anything without a quarterback. I'm telling you, there's not a consensus number 1 quarterback in this draft.
You've gone 15 seconds without a cheap shot. You want to take one before I go to the next segment?
No. Keep ganging up. Let's go.
Right. So I said this. Again, it's outrageous how I'm marginalized. I just said Saban 68.
Okay.
TV offers out there. Tua's leaving best player he's ever had at the position. The game now, unfortunately, is not moving toward him, away from him. 6 weeks to prepare. He can't stop top quarterbacks. He's losing really good assistant that wore Pete Carroll and Mac Brown out, and Urban in Florida. Oh, by the way, transfer portal, a control freak. Guys can leave. Early signing period. You can't go to his Georgia house. And I think Nick thinks about retirement. I think he thinks about it more. Driving to work, listening to this show, which he always does, he thinks about it. Am I nuts on that? Closer than we think.
I'm sure everybody at that age and at that point in their career at least thinks about it. I'm not telling you wrong. I'm just going to tell you, I don't think that the game has passed him up.
No.
I jumped off of that cliff with you a couple of years ago, and I'm not going to jump off of that.
You pushed me. I didn't want to go.
Oh, really? I feel like we both kind of jumped off there.
No, it's like being on,
you pushed me. I was head first. Saban is still, I think, the elite coach in college football.
Not denying that.
But he has been the best coach of this generation. I'm sure that at some points he thinks about, hey, when is it going to be my time to pass this off to somebody? But the hard part is that you had Urban Meyer with a succession plan with Ryan Day. You had Bob Stoops with a succession plan with Lincoln Riley.
That's not Nick's problem.
Well, it's not, but it's also, it's hard to think about what is this program going to be when you lose that many assistant coaches.
Yeah, but that's not Nick's problem.
I'm not saying that it is
Nick should worry about
problem.
Nick.
Do you want to step away knowing that there's not a succession plan?
Hey, I always said, when I leave here, I hope my time slot plummets. You think I want to?
That's so good.
You think I want to leave here and the ratings go up?
Well, you're a level 4 leader then. You've read Jim Collins' book, Good to Great, haven't you?
I want to leave this network someday, and literally all these guys upstairs turn the lights off.
So, I mean, okay.
You're one of these guys that worries about the next guy.
Sure, because I worry about the health of the thing that's bigger than me. But that's all right. The narcissism aside,
I got another cheap shot.
You're a level 4 leader. You're a level 4 leader. Level 5 leaders build an organization to have success after they're gone. Level 4 leaders enjoy the success while they're there, and then it plummets after they're gone.
Narcissist is strong.
Yeah. I'm just rooting.
Tendencies.
I'm rooting against this time slot the day I retire.
It's like a sprinkle of narcissism.
Hey, he just said actively, I'm rooting against this time slot. After, and you say that's a sprinkle of narcissism? Like it's like a sprinkled cookie? This is not the sugar
like
on the donut. That's the donut itself.
Little truffle shavings.
Hey, Skip Bayless will be 108. Rooting for him. Whitlock will be 98. Rooting for him. This time slot, down in flames. Okay.
I'm going to take over this time slot.
Okay, I got one more.
I'm going to take it over, and it's going to go through the roof.
I think I'm the only honest one. Hey, okay, one thing there. We're not going to do your ridiculous upset of the week, but this is a very interesting weekend. Lou Holtz once told me personally, we were friends. He said, you never get the same 19-year-old back-to-back weeks in college football.
Sure.
Girlfriend midterm.
I agree.
We got upsets happening this weekend.
By the way, watch out for Iowa over Minnesota.
They're going to beat them.
Minnesota had that. They won the Super Bowl last week, right?
Iowa's beating them.
On the road to Iowa. Remember 2 years ago, Ohio State beat Penn State in that epic game with Saquon Barkley and J.T. Barrett. What happened the very next week?
Both lost.
Ohio State goes to Iowa and got their doors blown off.
LSU.
Watch out. And by the way, LSU goes to Ole Miss, back-to-back road games. LSU won their Super Bowl last week. I could see that being a little bit of a tangle late in the game. People are like, what's wrong with LSU? Just watch out. Those are iffy
for
games.
The first time, a real upset. I think LSU could lose this weekend. I really do.
I wouldn't be shocked. I'll just say that.
Right.
They're much better, obviously, than Ole Miss. But again, the Lou Holtz theory. You don't get kids the same on back-to-back weeks.
All right. Only at Walmart, Michelin Endurance XT silicone wiper blades. They clear out the windshield so you can see college football takes clearly.
You can see your sprinkle of narcissism there, and then it wipes it away.
Again, it's a series of shots.
That was from Joy. I was just saying what Joy said.
The Herd.